What's up, guys? We got actually Amoonguss here with the BSL week 4 and 5 analysis. Today we got pretty much the whole gang with us. We got Arrtz, Shade of Defeat, Bishmii, and the guest Didi from the Dendemil Dragonites. You guys want to drop an intro to your channel or anything?
Yeah, sure. You guys know me. What's up? Arrtz here. It's been a while since we did one of these, but everyone had very, very busy schedules. But I'm finally excited to get this thing down on track.
What's going on, guys? This is Bishmii. I'm coming back for my second time. I'm surprised. Arrtz hit me up. I'm glad to be here. I like doing these breakdowns over here for the DSL.
Howdy doody mates, my name's Shade of Defeat and I am your coach of the New England Arrtz, and I am glad to be right back here with my boys.
I'm DD DarkSpark, which is just Dendemil DarkSpark. I'm just coach of the Dendemil Dragonites. Yeah, I'm just here. I'm hoping to revive my YouTube channel, but we'll see.
I love how me and DD are the only ones who announce our teams.
Just the coach of the Denver Dragons. You're the whole commissioner, bro.
It's true.
How could you leave that out?
It's true. We got the commissioner in for the analysis. Hopefully, he'll be starting to post his battle videos up soon.
So I'm gonna be posting them from now on.
Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for those because we're all excited to see that. So, like we said, we're kind of playing catch up here. So we're starting off. We're gonna kind of review week 4 and what had went down, as well as our picks. We didn't get the chance to make a video to make picks on week 5, but we'll go ahead and pick it up with week 6 here at the end. And I know right here at the top on this slide right here, we got a battle between two of the guys in the chat right now, and they were talking about how this battle went down just a minute ago. So before we get into the picks and stuff, we got the New York Cinderace and the Dendemil Dragonites. Y'all want to say anything on that real quick?
I feel bad about that match.
What happened?
What do you mean what happened?
I definitely didn't deserve that one. He prepared more.
Now, when you say I prepared more, do you mean that like you didn't prep for it, or you think?
Oh, I prepped for it. I prepped really hard, but the only thing is I don't know. I feel like you definitely prepped more. You had more answers to everything I had.
Okay.
We had the team matchup going into that.
So what do you think happened there, Arrtz?
Well, this happened. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks
ago.
So my memory isn't like I haven't watched it in a while. I'm not too keen on what happened. But like I said, it's not like they didn't play well. The Dendemil Dragonites played really, really well. That Mudsdale really made it difficult for me to win. But once they got up Stealth Rocks, I knew like I was gonna be in trouble because as I think I did team prep with you, Amoonguss, didn't I? Yeah, I think for that one
yes.
We did. Yeah, we definitely did. And Mudsdale was a huge issue as well as Sableye. So when you brought those two, I knew I was gonna be in a hell of a battle. But it was close. To me, even without some things I'm down, it still could have gone either way. Right.
Well,
I'm so sorry because you didn't know that, like, when I traded Mudsdale, it wasn't in effect till next week. So you didn't even think I could bring him, which I felt really bad about. I was like, oh.
Dendemil ended up...
Even though you did that, it was kind of like a mind game because he's like, even if, like, you did it, you still had it available, like, you wouldn't want to use it, you know?
Right.
You think about trading it.
And it's sad because after that match, I ended up picking him back up. I'm like, you know what? I kind of like him. I'm going to keep him.
Yo, I was laughing so much. Like, right after the battle, he said he did that. I was like, bro, he just seen what it did to me. That's why he did it.
Yeah, no, that is exactly why. He didn't know himself.
So
but yeah, it was a good battle. I mean, if you guys didn't watch it, it was a real battle going back and forth. Once again, I think I don't like my play style. I know like there's a lot of hard hitters in the league, such as like the Dramper we got in the league who just going on Turk and killing everything, things like Carl Dunn. The way I play my team, you're not really gonna find that on my team. It's kind of like everyone contributes to the pot to make something special. Once again, like even though things like Snorlax didn't get a lot of kills, it was so like the G-Max matchups every week. Since I've noticed in this league that so many of the G-Maxes, at least the ones I've battled so far, they're all like special attackers. So the fact that like things like my Snorlax just able to basically counter opposing G-Maxes, I find that very valuable. And it allows other things on my team to just come in and kill things afterwards. So I mean, yeah, it was a good battle, and I was like I said, it was not a loss I was mad about. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not like you played terrible and then like RNG gave me the break. You played really well. So
there were 2 turning points in that match, and it was once when I had my Arachnid against your Doublade. I hit it with a liquidation and got a defense drop. If that wouldn't have happened, he would have taken out my Arachnid. That was a huge turning point.
And you got 2 crits, back-to-back crits. I don't know if you remember that. The first one, I laughed it off because it was so funny because I was mocking the fact at how little the first crit did. And then you hit me with another crit. I think you hit me with a, what was the move? Was it lunge? Not lunge.
No, it was Leech Life. That was it.
Yeah, it was Leech Life. And it did such little damage. I was basically mocking it. And then you hit me with the liquidation crit. I was like, whoa, wait. I didn't need that one. And then the defensive drop came in the next play. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
And the next big thing was when Cinderace missed his gunk shot. That was like I knew that was over right now.
We're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, Didi, how much did you pay that Cinderace?
I think the Cinderace doesn't like him. I do think he abuses the Cinderace.
That's crazy.
That's what we're saying.
That Cinderace is the same one that's been with me since day one of the game. That's my starter Cinderace, man. That's the crazy part about it. That's a crazy part. Like, I feel so betrayed.
But another set I brought actually for you was because I knew you had Crustle and I knew you had Snorlax, and I thought possibly you were going to set up with either one of them. I brought an Excelgor with Power Swap, so it would take all your stat boosts and use them against you.
That would have been
You
pretty
didn't bring
cool.
Excelgor, did you?
No, I was debating on it. I was really debating on it.
When I was under the impression you wasn't going to bring Mudsdale, I was saying I remember saying this to Amoonguss too. I was like, he's not bringing Mudsdale, so he's probably going to bring a Excelgor. So going into the battle, that's not that strat that you had, but the Pokemon, I was like really anticipating the Excelgor to come.
Because I would have Excelgor, and if you did do Belly Drum with Snorlax, I'd have a +4 attacks Excelgor with Drain Punch.
Oh wow.
Nice.
And
I would have Focus Sash so you couldn't one-shot it. That's what I was
that would have been cool to see. That would have been really cool to see.
Yeah, so like they said, the Dendemil Dragonites ended up picking that one up. But Arrtz, you may have lost that battle, but on your picks, bro, that was the only pick you didn't get for week 4. When it comes to picks, we're gonna watch Shaded Defeat's week 4 matchup with the Nashville Slashers, but when it comes to picks, Arrtz and Shade, y'all both got 5 out of the 6 with your loss against Dendemil being the only one you got wrong, Arrtz, and Shade, the only one you didn't get. Where is it? Oh, you had picked me to beat Bishmii in the New York Knickets.
Yeah, I'm never betting on you ever again, so.
Oh my god.
I mean,
You betrayed my trust for the last time.
it is what it is.
I voted for you how many times in a row?
I think for like 3 weeks in a row now.
It's not good. But so we had a awesome week 4 matchup that we wanted to watch between Shaded Defeat and the New England Crawdons versus Kanto in the Nashville Slashers. So I mean, whenever you're ready, we can pick that one right up, Shade.
All right. 3, 2, 1. You. So right off the bat, so if anyone doesn't know the backstory between us, we're actually really good friends. So during this whole week, we pretended like we didn't like we weren't like talking to each other, we weren't doing anything together. And this is the guy I team build with, so he knows most of my team, I know most of his team. The only thing that screwed him over, I think, was that I traded 2 Pokemon.
Yeah.
So this is Glaceon's debut match. So the strategy here was I'm just gonna go ahead and go for the damage and then let him kill himself with Flare Blitz.
Now, what the recoil would have killed him from full?
choice and let him take me out with Flare Blitz, and that's a trade I was willing to take.
That's a choice max?
Yep.
Okay.
Bringing Glaceon into his first battle to die. Interesting.
Wow. Pretty wild
So
strat.
I was just because the whole strategy was so every week he starts off with Rotom Wash.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
So I was gonna go ahead and take advantage of that and go for the Freeze Dry, which one-shotted.
Yeah.
I guarantee you saw that coming.
No, he thought I was going to bring out Crawdon. He thought I was going to start off with Crawdon and go for Aqua Jet. And his set was a Focus Sash reversal set.
Oh my god, that's ingenious.
And I sat there going like, was your Cinderace max HP? Because yeah. Can't tell, that was not going to work at all.
Oh yeah, because it was max HP, so the Intimidate would have dropped it.
Yeah. So he sent out ringing and I sat there going, Arston, come on back.
Oh, why did you bring Savali Electric this time?
Just for a little bit more resistant, like, because most of this team, I would resist it. The only Pokemon that will have trouble with it, I think, from this week was going to be his Cinderace and I forgot what else. But everything else, like, I had really good resistance to.
Yeah,
So-
I'm like gonna ask you why did you bring it here? Was it just to like take the attack?
Just take an attack for Cinderace.
Yeah, because like you brought it in and then I looked at your move. Wait, probably can't touch this thing. You can't
Because
play
Because like I was just trying to take a hit from him.
right. Oh yeah. You turned up a lot of damage.
Hello,
Yeah.
this is me, sure. Sorry about that. My mom was trying to take a dog out to walk. But yeah, so he U-turns, he gets the crit. I get a crit. I sat there going, okay, this is pretty good. And at this point, I'm going like, all right, I'm gonna full send it. I'm gonna full send it with Sato.
That's from Persona, right?
Sato. So half my team's from Persona, half my team's from My Hero Academia.
That's awesome.
So I mix my favorite anime with my favorite game. So right now, I went ahead, went for G-Max, and I went for the Max Overgrowth. Which I guess a lot of people don't see coming because not a lot of people know that Grimmsnarl actually gets the access to Power Whip.
Bro, I didn't even know that.
Oh my god.
News to me.
So Gigantamaxing, I thought he was going to go for either the Thunder Wave or Trick. And I sat there going like, okay, so my Grimmsnarl is already slow. It doesn't matter. So we're just going to go ahead and full spin.
I'm surprised he went for
That's pretty huge.
And he goes for a nasty block. And I sat there going like, okay.
Alright.
I mean, I guess, and this is what got Grimmsnarl up to like the top 5.
Was this match?
Yeah, it was this match alone. Like, this match alone doubled its kills.
Well, another thing to bring up, it'll come up as we start talking about standings later on, is going into this matchup, y'all were both 1 and 2. And
Yep.
so this was pretty, y'all, everybody in that little, like, mid-lower bracket is still really, really close, but, that makes that more important, the fact that y'all was so close.
Oh yeah, so like so during this week I was number 8. I was number 8 in the ranking, which was like put me right into playoff status. If we had to go into playoffs, I would have made playoffs. But Cancel was number 9, so this match would determine who would go up and who would go down.
Right.
Who would be able to. So like this match was like really important to both of us. Like, so my week 3 battle, like, Bishmii always jokes about it. I was like, yeah, I'm not bringing a meme set anymore. I'm about to bring, like, the dumbest set ever. Yeah, I was about to bring Memento on Grimsnarl.
Well, one thing that's pretty consistent throughout this league is, you know, if you're playing it on like the ladder or something, some of these sets might be considered meme sets, but the level of creativity that everybody brings is really like it's not dumb, it's smart, it's not memes.
Right. There's not it's not only that. There's a purpose behind it.
Right.
Because it's not. This isn't a left tier list. This is a literally draft league. Everybody has the set amount of Pokemon that they can bring. You know what they can bring. That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I like this draft league a lot. At first I was like I really didn't quite like it because like there's like only 10 Pokemon allowed. But then after we start playing, I'm like, wow, this is getting really competitive now because we all know what Pokemon we're gonna bring.
Exactly. That's the reason I love draft leagues. That's why I made this one.
Well, the last draft league I played in was like you had 15 Pokemon. And
Oh my god!
Wow.
The draft for that was 3 hours.
Wow,
That was a 3-hour draft.
That's ridiculous.
So now he's running this Intimidate, and I sat there going, like, okay, so he's gonna go for Iron Head, try to kill me. I'm gonna go for Stomping Tantrum.
Now, I'm surprised that Grimmsnarl was faster than Incineroar.
Because
Oh,
Incineroar
it's-
is running max HP, max attack. I have
Another thing.
exactly one. I have 1 EV points. I have technically 4 into its speed, so it wins the speed tie.
Okay.
Because they're both max. Their base speed is 65.
Yeah, 65 volts. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. So this outspeed. So this outspeed is Lapras by 1, and his Cinderace by 1. Incineroar.
Incineroar.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he had Cinderace from that team too.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, this is one of the picks that I missed on this week, and also I was the only one that went with Kanto.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
That's a solo loss for me on that one.
Wait, Kanto didn't pick himself?
Kanto wasn't with us that video.
Yeah, Kanto's been really busy with all his stuff going on. He's actually gotten back into work due to everything reopening up.
Yeah.
So he got slammed with a lot of work. He's working 2 jobs right now.
Oh
So
my god, and record. Think on top of that?
oh yeah, and his sleepwalk was his sleepwalk was fire.
That was actually really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was popping in and out of that. It'd be like a 12-hour stream.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah,
Have to beat the game in one go. Oof.
and those black goals too.
And then for my reason for picking Shade in this battle was just because I knew that they teamed up together so much, and I was like, Shade knows the ins and out of his team. Like the fact that unless he would have like switched it up a little bit, like Shade, he pointed out that he knew the fact that the Incineroar he likes running his match HP max attack. He knew him running his Grimmsnarl that way without speed Incineroar. So I just thought that, like, I knew going in that Shade probably had the upper hand just because he knows Kanto's playstyle so well.
Right.
Oh yeah. This play right here to me was kind of questionable. He went into Remy, which I guess does give him like the lightning rod effect going off, but it's just I guess like to me like I felt like he wasted his G-Max. Yeah.
Well, I kind of like the play because it saves Lapras's health, and then while getting your Galvantula down to 1, and then setting up his Aurora Veil.
Oh yeah.
So like he didn't.
See, but this play right here was a mistake. Like was a mistake on his part because he has a U-turn.
Yeah.
He got rid
He
of
has
the
to
stat
send out-
boost.
Yeah, that U-turn.
And you didn't really. Did you have anything to answer that really? Like the Remy, besides maybe your Hydreigon? Was it
Hydreigon.
Okay, so yeah, that was kind of the beginning of.
So at this point of the battle, I was going like, okay, you know, I know our Sin outsped because of sticky webs, and I sat there going, wait, hold up, I can't one-shot this thing. I have to hard switch again. Because I knew I one-shot it with knockoff. So I had to switch out.
But the veil was up.
Yes, that was the issue. So I had to switch. I had to swap out. So I swapped into Savali with default. Yeah, I lost default my webs, which when I sat there going like, I really just wasted my Akechi. But you know, but my whole like in the video, like if you guys watched it, like I was going like, it's not as bad as it sounds, because if that Tokenomaru had Focus Sash, which I thought it did, because I thought that was the Focus Sash user, not his Cinderace. Because he knows I don't know why he's saying Cinderace. I just think this isn't stuck in my head because it's so funny how much it's screwed you over.
Cinder. Oh, that's crazy.
Like, it's just so funny to me how bad it just screws you over. You have so much better. You have so much of a better record if you had a different price.
Hey, look. He gonna step in the game, but when he does it, it's over.
You say this every week.
I will tell you, hey Arrtz, I gotta tell you something. Elemental has been debating on trading Togekiss for that.
Ooh, that one.
Great.
Yeah, she keeps debating on it. She's like, I should ask him. I'm like, don't
See
worry.
how it does in our battle, and then I'll get back to you.
Cinderace just misses every hit on purpose now.
And then Togekiss sweeps.
100% accuracy move. No, this is like 100% accuracy moves. But damn.
Didn't you know his Cinderace's hustle?
It has to be at this point. It has to be. I believe that our screen is
I'm about to give it blunder policy. Because they know blunder policy on it.
Don't
I
add
don't
no
want that
better
hook
from the
smash.
policy. Oh my god.
Bro, that'll be the play for you, but never misses a move ever again.
That's true, you never get to use the strategy.
This is now, fam. Now.
Now I'm gonna hit every move.
I'm gonna hit every move.
That might be okay, though. That might be okay.
So, actually, talking about Dynamic Punch, one of my friends were like really curious of why I traded away my Machamp. To me, I wanted a Steel type because I felt like I didn't want to like just have Savali for that Steel type if I really needed it. And I was looking at what we had left over in the free agent pool. I sat there going, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take Lucario that gives me my fighting type and my Steel type, and I can switch it up to sets because I can run a special Lucario, I can run a physical Lucario.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I think Lucario was a pretty solid pickup for you. But Machamp was also a solid pickup for Bishmii. Yeah.
We're supposed to because we were talking before this. Bishmii and me were talking about this. Like I wanted at the time I wanted Cinderace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean not Cinder.
Chandelier.
Bro, you love Cinderace, bro.
It's fine, trade it.
Hey, you want my code on?
The mascot's
I
traded.
traded his mascot. I traded his mascot.
Hey, it's a mascot for mascot. Seems pretty fair to me.
No, I don't think whatchamacallit would like that. I don't think Mike Cronin would ever forgive me for
No,
sending them over
he'll
to
start
that team.
missing none.
Don't y'all have the
Well,
same
don't miss it
record?
up.
Y'all can just trade coaches.
Trade coaches.
Ooh, I'm surprised that they're not the.
Is it a Zelda maybe?
What the?
The Rosary. Is it
No.
a Zelda? It did pretty well against that.
This thing is max special attack, max speed with a choice spot.
His Rosary.
How did it survive?
Rosary.
I mean, it does have decent special defense, but it's
Yeah. I got a low roll. I literally like it would have killed. I got the lowest roll
Oh, okay.
because it does 80 to 110%.
Oh, wow.
So I just go like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna Upper Jet. So at this point right here, I told Kanto he was this was the stupidest play he ever did. he should have swapped out into this Lapras and he would have won.
Oh, it's his water absorb.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
He would have won if he would have swapped out.
Interesting play there.
What set is the Lapras, do you know?
Lapras is max HP, max special attack. He's running Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Psychic,
There's the names.
and Hydro Pump.
Okay.
Actually, no, he's not running Thunderbolt. He's running Ice Shard.
Okay. To pick up the easy kills. Okay.
And at this point right here, like it disconnected, and like we were sitting there, I had to call him. We had a young call, and that's when we had to decide like what was going to be the course of action. Because if we called the right there, because we wanted to restart the battle, but the issue was I would have KO'd his Pokemon with. I would have won with just Glaceon, because Glaceon did over half with Choice Specs Freeze Dry.
Yeah.
So and he wouldn't be able to two-shot me back or one-shot me. So and then like his Lapras can't really hit my Procon because Hydro Pump and Blizzard are resisted. Psychic doesn't hit me.
Right.
And I started
a
anything.
knockoff would have like took care of that.
Yeah, knockoff was one-shotted.
One-sided.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just agreed that it was going to be a 1-0 victory my side and Chronon wins.
Yeah, that makes 100% sense.
I think that was the correct way we could have gone about that.
No, that's a good way to do it. That was probably happening when all the like servers were going down.
At the same time,
Yeah, because there was a time like I think like it was last week or 2 weeks ago that
it was.
servers all were going down.
Everything kept crashing.
And like we were just and then like we made a joke about this battle crashed the server, so it was too much.
I like that, and I like your thumbnail for it too.
Oh, yeah, So I was a member of his community before anything else, before I started my channel, and he made out a face, and he goes like, "Give me a shiny." And it's like someone snapshotted it, put the arms there, and we go like, "Give me the shiny Slowpoke."
He was after a shiny Slowpoke, like the new Galarian one.
Yep.
So we talked about New York Cinderace versus Dendemil Dragonites and New England versus Nashville. Just to quickly go over on the rest of the Week 4 matchups, we had the Pittsburgh Steelix defeat the Cleveland Cloyster, giving them their first loss of the season, so that was an upset. The Baltimore Blaziken pulled it out against the Bonita Bolt Beaks. The Brooklyn Barraskewda stayed undefeated and defeated the Detroit Decidueye. And then in the battle of the no-win teams, the Bishmii and the New York Nickets managed to pull it off against me. But as we move on to Week 5...
before we go on to Week 5, I'm sorry. Do y'all want to give your thoughts on that real quick?
Well, I was really going to bring it up to the point that when we go to Week 5, like Bishmii's really been turning it around, and I think that like, okay, so we were both 0-3 going into this battle. It was a good battle, and he managed to pull it out, but like then he traded his G Maxes, and he picked up another win, and like Bishmii's coming now, like.
Yeah, I want to say like a big thing in that battle was that before I was running like a Pelipper with a lot of speed and a lot of special attack because that's kind of what the meta has been doing. So I wanted to try it, and I lost 3 times in a row using that. So I decided to go back to like my more defensive Pelipper, so I could have it as a wall. I could survive more hits, and I could have it to set up the rain more. So I went in the battle with that, and then it was able to like set up Dreadnought to come in a lot on your mons and then just like get a hard hit off, and ultimately that's what made me make the trade to a G-Max and Dreadnought, like seeing it perform that well in our battle.
Yeah, so like.
And then another thing I want to say about it was like that Trevenant. Like what did you think around those Trevenant plays when like it came in on Pelipper and then it KO'd Louis Colo?
Well, Trevenant, honestly, I didn't get the chance to like pivot off of it, but it was really supposed to be like a in and out type thing, which is why it carried Trick Room, because I was trying to get the speed advantage with my Beware, which I made really slow so I could Thunder Punch down like, well, a lot of your team, but especially if I could get the matchup against Pelipper, which, you know, kind of like you may want to get the matchup for your side, Pelipper versus Beware, because then you could Hurricane my Beware, but if I can get the Trick Room up, I can flip that matchup around and possibly shut your weather down. But with Ludicolo coming in and out, stuff like that, it just didn't get to really pivot the way that I had seen it going down. But, you know, like I said, I mean, like, really, like, I played pretty well in that match, and honestly, I've been staying in my games in my week 5 matchup too, but the big takeaway for me, honestly, there is that like your team was really turning around, and I didn't know that you was running I didn't know about the Pelipper change that like, you know, that it really was like that, but like you're kind of getting more to like what I think of as the standard of a rain team is working out.
Yeah, and then another comment I want to make is like that Seismitoad not being water absorbed and like it being Swift Slam. Who thought of that? Was it you or Arrtz?
That was probably me, yeah.
Because like I'd expect you to bring like, you know, water absorb on against me, so I'm pretty sure I scalded your Toxtricity. Just I was trying to Psych Pelipper, and then you switched into Seismitoad. I'm like, oh, this is about to absorb it. But then you got hit, and I was like, oh, you're Swift Swim. So you were just trying to like flip the speed on me there.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that you had access to 2 Swift Swimmers, and I guess I just kind of wanted to like bring something that wouldn't get totally outpaced. You know, had answers for a lot of the things
Right.
on your team. Like it had Grass Knot for Dreadnought and stuff like that. So
Yeah, definitely a good battle. Set me on the path to that win streak I got going right now.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I didn't even, now that you mentioned it back when you was, I didn't even recognize that the Seismitoad wasn't water absorbed. Like, and the thing is, like, I'm hitting it with water attacks, and it never occurred to me, maybe this should be water absorbed instead. Like, I was setting up the rain and doing a ton of damage in it while we were scrimmaging, and like the thought never came into my mind, maybe this thing should be water absorbed instead. So that was an error in our team prep.
well, it was working out a little better in team prep as well, where it was kind of showing what it was supposed to be doing as an offensive presence, and so like you kind of seen what I was going for a little better than the actual battle when it all went down.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we also got week 5 to review a little more, and we got a few videos from week 5. Hold on, let me flip my page real quick here. But
Actually, do you think before we get into week 5, you want me to go ahead and do my predictions just in case I have to dip out?
For week 6?
Yeah, for week 6.
yeah, go for it.
Alright, so New York Cinderace versus Cleveland Cloisters. I'm going to go for the Cloisters. Nashville Slashers versus Baltimore Blazekins. I'm going to go for Slashers. Atlanta Sawballs versus Bonita Bullpeaks. I'm going to give you a little redemption art. I'm going to go Atlanta Sawballs. I swear.
In the same video, so he's not going to do it and then does it.
I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Knights. New England Chronons versus Pittsburgh Steelers. You know I'm going to go for the Chronons. Broken Bear Scoots versus New York Knicks. I'm going to go for the blankets.
All right. So, we got oh wait, I did forget one thing. We have on week 4, before I get off of that, I did have some coverage from Eric, coach of the yeah, on his week 4 matchup, and basically this is what I'm just gonna read what he said. He says about that matchup. He said, so it started out pretty well for me, all things considered, and my Rillaboom was able to take care of his first mon easy. That Rillaboom was carrying terrain extender, grassy terrain to make Excadrill and Hippowdon less threatening, which is pretty smart in my opinion. Anyway, unfortunately I wasn't able to use the tech because he brought in his Duraludon and G-Max and killed Rillaboom. Next tech, we had the Rain Dance Corsola I mentioned in the league, but also had dual screens and strength sap to be even more annoying. I did have some misplays. I stayed in on a Raichu that paralyzed my Dracovish. When Drill killed my Durant, I should have went to Corsola instead of Corviknight so that I could set screens again. And I don't know if this was one maybe but I Iron Defense instead of immediately G-Maxing Corviknight, which may have been able to get me the kill and subsequently win. I'll calc it later. We both had some luck in that I had a Mon that lived on 1 and he had a Mon that lived on 1 at some point in the battle. And of course there was the crit Shadow Claw onto Corviknight, which brought it to a point where Raichu or Gardevoir could kill. I'm not mad at the results. I'm mad they were decided by a crit. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So yeah, that was
I'm mad that I lost. I'm just mad that my Pokemon decided to be stupid.
That was Eric's comments on the Bonito Boltbeaks versus the Blaziken, which, like we said, they went down in that battle and went to 0-4. So, you know.
Actually, Arrtz, do you actually feel his pain? Because his Pokemon in the 30 game, his Pokemon just happened to get hit, which is unlucky. Your Pokemon throws the damn game every damn week.
Hey,
so,
did you hear this, bro? You got
start back in his bags.
You got to do something about this, man.
He doesn't give a shit. You abuse him up behind doors. We know this.
So,
doesn't miss that much.
Before we get into the videos, we got videos for 3 of these battles, and I'm just gonna go over basically the results of the other ones. I'm gonna start with the Detroit Decidueye versus the Bonito Boltbeaks. The Bonito Boltbeaks actually picked up their first win in that battle, so they turned it around the next week, and that was pretty, exciting for them for sure. The New England Crawdaunt, they lost to the Cleveland Cloyster, so they improved to 4-1. And the Baltimore Blaziken went down to the Dendemil Dragonites, and we got Didi, the coach of the Dragonites, here. So, what went down in that battle?
Okay, so Tanzi is his name. We were in another league before, and he destroyed me with like 5-0. I think it was either a 4-0 or a 5-0 in the previous league. So from week 1 of this league, when I made it and he joined, I'm like, I'm planning for that week. So I was like, I need to make a comeback and beat him this week. So the pickup on Vanillux I really needed, so thank you for dropping that, by the way, because that really gave me weather on top of everything.
That ice cream cone?
Yeah, that ice cream cone. I hate that stupid design. It's such a stupid. But so I figured he was gonna go. Because of my Darmanitan and because of how fast it was with the Scarf, I knew he would have to run the Sand Rush Excadrill. So I figured he was gonna go Hippowdon right off the bat. So I'm like, what can I do to disrupt that? So if I chose my Vanillux and he chose his Hippowdon was slower, so the sand would come up. So what I did is I gave my Vanillux an Iron Ball to half its speed. So then all of a sudden I send him down. So then hail starts. He's all flustered and confused. So he clicks roar, and I use blizzard. And because roar is negative priority, I got to shoot off a blizzard first, which took him down to like 90%. It took him down 90%. He roars my Vanillix away, and in comes my Hatterene, which is my G-Max. And then he proceeds to not remember Magic Bounce and throws Stealth Rocks at himself. So then I G-Max and... Oh, no. First I use Trick Room, then I G-Max, and then I take out a few of his Pokemon. I can't remember which ones.
Trust me, your own rocks.
Yeah. So then the battle proceeds. Then Sableye comes in. He does some work. I burn his Excadrill, which can't do much anymore. And his Hippo went down like right away, so he couldn't get the sand up anymore. And then Sableye just kind of took out most of his team, which was nice.
You picked up the 6-0 in that one, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a 6-0.
Very nice.
I prepared so hard for that battle, though.
Nice. You got
So that was a little bit of a revenge match for you.
Yeah, that was. It was fun, though. He's a really good trainer, too. He's a really good coach.
Oh, yeah. I got 6-0 by the Baltimore Blaziken this season, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yo, and I just want to say that Iron Ball Vanillix, that's dope. Like, honestly.
The only problem with that is I was banking on him bringing Hippowdon first. If he didn't, then it wouldn't have mattered. Like, that's the only reason. If he wouldn't have brought Hippowdon first, that match would have been a lot more difficult. But as soon as I saw Hippowdon come out, I'm like, this match is over. I knew in my head that it was done.
Nice, man. That's really nice.
Alright, so I gotta jump off. Sorry not to leave you guys so early. I thought we were gonna record a little earlier, but I'm really sorry, guys. Hope you guys have a great recording session. And like I said, I already said my picks, and yeah.
Hey, bro.
Make sure y'all check out Shade of Defeat. Make sure y'all check out Shade of Defeat on YouTube. And for the first week 5 battle that we got, I got Bishmii up versus the New York Nickets versus the Pittsburgh Steelix. So you ready, Bishmii? You want to take us through this one?
Yeah, I'm ready in 3, 2, 1. So this battle was against Goose on my and Goose. He actually just defeated Elemental, who kind of washed me in my match before. So I was kind of nervous. I want to say he also made a switch. He traded Jellicent for Flygon. So I was expecting him to bring that this match. I lead off with Chandelier because looking at his team, he has the Sun team with Ninetales, Charizard, and Venusaur. So I wanted to lead off with Chandelier to kind of counter it and throw off a fire move. And, but he leads off with Flygon, surprisingly. And I wanted to get out of there because I wasn't sure if it was going to be special or physical. So I brought in Claydol. And he started dragon dancing up. And like here, I'm like, yo, what the heck? Like this could have gotten out of control really fast. But like I said, I did make that change with Pelipper. So I brought it in as my defensive wall. And also to set up my ring. Also on my team, I've had picked up Amoonguss and Chandelier. I dropped, who was it? I dropped Orbeetle and... Jolteon. No, I didn't drop Jolteon yet. It was... Oh, I dropped Berserker really early in the league for Amoonguss. And yeah, so as you see, Pelipper eats that hit. I kind of just let it go down, as I usually do. And then but that allows me to bring in Dreadnought because I have the Ice Fang, which OHKOs. Here I take a little bit of time because I'm not sure if like a Amoonguss Dragon Pulse could KO it. But I want to say bringing Amoonguss and Chandelier was really good because him bringing the Sun would like just set up solar power for Amoonguss, and it will also make my Chandelier's move just like really strong, as we'll see like later. And then what do you guys think of like me bringing those picks?
Well, you picked up the combination of Chandelure and Heliolisk. To be honest, like, okay, like I'm decent in Pokemon, but like some of the things I've seen you guys do, I never thought to do. Lord knows that a lot of these Pokemon's got these moves. Like when I seen the fact that you was running Sunny Day on the Claydon, and in combination with the Heliolisk and the Lord, man, that's some scary power on your side.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too because like in a weird way they kind of cover for each other because like you have an electric normal and a ghost fire, so like you could pivot around some weaknesses that one or the other has, like the Shandor covers the weakness for fighting when it comes to the Heliolisk and things like that. So yeah, that's a pretty decent core you built there.
Yeah, and like it was funny starting out as a rain team and then picking up 2 months that like abuse the fire, well the sun. Like I kind of like what I got.
That's
going
crazy,
on.
yeah.
And
And also here, him saying that the sun here helps you out. Little did to know.
Yeah, and then flashlight.
What's really cool is Heliolisk has an ability that abuses either too, because it could have dry skin and heal in the rain, or solar power and do more damage in the sun. So that's a really awesome pick. And I mean, I kind of already said it like when we were talking about our week 4 matchup, but I mean, I just feel like you started to find like so much more like purpose in your team, like so much more direction, and then on top of that, like so you started finding that, and then have worked it into like even more like dimensions and depth as well, so that you're not predictable either, which is kind of like the biggest con of running a dedicated weather team, is that it's pretty obvious that you are. But yeah, I mean honestly, for me, because I like to do with the standings are always based on differential, but I like to do like my own power ranking in the like based on like who's playing who, and like just considering more things than just differential. Like that's a factor, but not the only factor. And for me, I think that you might be on pace to make the playoffs. I mean, obviously it was a really rough start, and you got to win more than 2 games to get there. But the way it's looking, it should get there.
That weather ball is huge.
Yeah, that one's huge. But I want to talk about that Charizard play.
That Charizard, yeah, killing it so solid. I was about to say. I was like, that was huge. He lost his G-Max like right as it came in.
Ninetales set up the sun for me, and I'm like, that helped me. You know, I wanted to throw off a mystical fire just to drop his special attack. I didn't expect it to live. I mean, I didn't expect it to get KO'd, so I just wanted to drop his attack and live the next attack. But he actually brought in Charizard on the sun boosted flash fire, which is Specs, Modest, Stab, mystical fire, brought it all the way down to like under 10%, and then it died to the solar power. So I was able to just clean up his G-Max right there. Chandelier looking like a great pick. He brought in Venusaur. I let Chandelier go down because I EV was to be faster with the Choice Scarf. I knew a Weather Ball was going to OHKO it with the solar power, so I just got that out the way. And, you know, 2 of his scary sun users were just gone. After that, you know, I bring in Feral Thorn because it's kind of, I kind of don't need it anymore. You know, most of his scary mons are gone, so I just use it to get check on a lot of his mons. And yeah, like, just finally being able to use Heliolisk, because I think I traded like week 2, and I was also not liking the way my team was looking because I had Quagsire as my water absorber, and then I realized Heliolisk was in the free agency, and I seen actually Amoonguss use it against me in our previous league, the PWD. You know, that was the first time I actually seen it in action when I tried to go for a skull with Jellicent, I believe, and then you just switch it in from dry skin. I was like, wait, what? So, like, after that, I just wanted to use it.
Right.
So you're saying,
I wonder if Goose Almighty knew that this thing gets knockoff. I'm curious, because I don't think he would have put this thing out on it.
yeah, like you said, because I could just come in, and then I think I was max special defense. So just being able to knock off all of his
slashes would have been huge.
Right. Here, I want to say knocking off the choice scarf is really big because it looks like he didn't have any speed on his Drapion. Because in the world, Dreadnought's outspeeded. Now, Dreadnought's base speed is like 74, and I was just max speed and adamant. So I was surprised that I wind up outspeeding later. But it looks like on his part, he said that he prepped for the wrong team. After the battle, he asked me, why didn't I bring Dracovish? And I'm like, Dracovish? Like, I don't have a Dracovish on my team. So
That's funny.
I was really confused when he asked me that. But it turns out like he kind of prepped for the wrong team. So like his Ninetales didn't have any speed on it, and his Drapion wasn't faster than my Dreadnought. And then I guess like that's pretty much the end of the battle, you know.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back from this.
Yeah. After him allowing me to get chip on all of his mons.
Not only chip, you knocked off every single one of his items. I'm pretty sure. And why did energy? Oh my God.
Using the choice scarf, using the Eviolite, and the Pasho berry, it allows me to just bring in Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no.
yeah, and me knowing, so I ran a calc earlier, like his solar beam would have killed Dreadnought, but now that I noticed it was Energy Ball, like I was like, oh no, I definitely live in the G-Max form, so like a Max Rock Ball should take this thing out after it Energy Balls me, and then but it looks like he switches out, so I set up my Sandstorm, and like that allows me to definitely live if it comes in again. And that's what put Dreadnought as a MVP of the week, you know, picking up the
He picked up 4 kills.
Yeah, 4 kills and no deaths. So yeah, G-Max Dreadnought looking like a great pickup.
That is such a cool design, man. I
Has
love
to
it.
drop Orbeetle on his neck. And then like I said, like you said, you know, knocking off the items, it might have lived the Mag Rock Ball there if it still had its Eviolite. And then the Choice Scarf making Drapion slower on this next turn was just huge.
I wonder if they knew that NG Ball doesn't kill. Well, in the sand, for sure, it's not going to kill.
Oh yeah,
For
definitely.
sure. But while the sun was up, I wonder why they decided to switch out there. I wonder
Yeah,
if they knew that NG Ball
I have a feeling that they switched out because you had several ways to change the weather. So if they would have stuck with Solar Beam and you would have switched to say Pelipper, it would have to charge.
Okay.
Like let's say you went immediately into Ninetales and you sent out like let's say the Dreadnought instead of going for so they could try and use the Solar Beam, but if you switched to Pelipper that turn, it would set up Rain, which would make it like not only does Rain make Solar Beam take longer, like take 2 turns versus the 1 turn in Sun, it lessens its power by like half. It's ridiculous.
Wait, I actually think that in Rain it takes, like you said, 2 turns, and in Sun, like you get to use it the same turn,
Yeah.
and in like regular you have to wait a turn, so it actually takes an extra turn. So I could see.
I don't know about that in Rain. I think it still takes the 2 turns, like the normal 2 turns, but I do think it's weakened on top of that. I can actually look that up right now. But I have a feeling that's why, because it was such
still
a...
the 2 turns. Yeah, it's still the 2 turns.
Okay.
Like the turn to absorb it, then release it. But I didn't know that it lessens the damage too.
Yeah, it lessens the damage, which is
That's
a
crazy.
big thing.
It makes sense though. It makes sense.
Yeah,
And that was a good win for you, bitch.
that was a very, very good one.
Yeah, most definitely. I was surprised
Against a powerful team too.
Yeah, to get that win off of somebody who kind of beat me, but like I guess that's kind of what happened in the draft league, and that put me at 2-3. You know, I got a little 2-win streak going up, and then like in week 6, I go up against the undefeated, so I was like looking forward to see how I do. But we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so actually, speaking of them, that's who I play in the next video in my week 5, it's the 0-5 versus the 5-0, and so like going into this battle, I was pretty nervous. I know Carlos is a good battler. I kind of like when it came to prep. I obviously like I know his team's got a lot of ways that he can go, and so I kind of like tried to take a approach of like with a few techs, like actually the Bisharp has room service on it because I've seen him use Trick Room this season and stuff like that. I brought a few techs to counter team, but kind of wanted to just like play my game and like see if I could like get the pace and control the pace. But he starts off honestly with a really interesting set with the screens Corviknight. That was definitely not something I prepared for. Not something I thought of preparing for.
I would have never seen that coming myself, bro.
Yeah, I did not see that coming at all. So that was pretty smart on his part. And it definitely creates a lot of momentum for him, too, throughout the whole game.
A little bit behind that, I was talking with him, and he was like, yo, Corviknight hasn't done anything for me. And then he's like, yo, I was looking at the book set, and it looks like it has access to the screens. And I'm like, yo, that'd be cool if you ran it. He's like, yeah, I was thinking about it. So then I actually team built with him. So in this match, I was like, yo, what's stopping you from setting up screens and then going into Rhyperior and setting up? And he's like, yo, that's a cool tech. So like he actually ran it.
Yeah.
He did.
So you're basically telling me that the reason this happened was
Well, he said he would set up the screens, but in the Rhyperior, that was on me.
Yeah, so actually he goes to Rhyperior here. And I didn't know how much this was going to do behind the screens, but I guess it probably wouldn't have killed even behind it without him. It ended up doing like 48%, something like that. Not quite enough.
Well, on
And
his
so-
side, he said it did like 49%.
Right,
So
just under.
it's like yeah, I'm not sure how much of a roll that was. So I'm not sure how much of a chance you had to KO it after that.
Wait, did we start the video?
Oh yeah, I didn't count down.
I
My
had
bad.
no idea myself when he said the wrong thing. I'm like, shit.
My
Oh
apologies.
God,
I did not
where
count
are you guys
down.
at?
I'm
Where
fast
are you?
forwarding it.
Right now I'm at 6:23, 4, 5.
Oh my God, okay.
Okay, bro. I just started playing myself. I was like, wait, I think he started.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I think he started it too. I was like, oh my God.
My bad. I didn't count down, but
Yeah, so when did you guys think of like when the Corviknight started setting up the screens?
That's a really unique play. I've seen a few people actually do it in other draft leagues that I've played in, because people don't expect it.
Right.
And on top of that, then I've seen people do that and run bulk up on top of that, and then just use like Brave Bird or something, and then it's like a tank, and you can't toxic
Oh, yeah.
it, so you can't whittle it down. So
yeah, right here I brought the body press Como-O, and he just eats a body press like nothing. I mean, it's
well,
an
that's all due to
absolute
the
tank.
screen.
Right, he also has the screens and all of his defense, and he ends up picking up a crit, but it doesn't matter because it was an easy 2-hit KO even after leftovers. Yeah.
I just feel bad because you didn't anticipate screens, so none of your counts like included that, so that really
Right.
kind of messed you up.
Oh,
I feel like.
it was a huge momentum play for him to lead that way.
That was great prep.
And I end up landing a hypnosis and taking the Rhyperior down, but it gets me starting from behind, and he still has screens for a couple turns after this happens. So, well, his screens are starting to go down, but
Did he have light clay on the Corviknight? What did he have on it?
Yeah, like that.
Light clay? Okay.
Yeah, and I want to say like that's definitely hard to go up against. Like not expecting a Corviknight to set up the screens on you. It's like, yo, what?
yeah, that's another key pivot in this battle too, is that I put him in sleep and try to set my screens up, and he gets the first turn wake up with the brick break. So I end up I end up not playing with screens the whole game, and he already got a lot of work out of his.
Well, actually,
Could you have killed the Rhyperior right there?
Maybe,
With the Blizzard?
but no, because isn't it faster than me?
No, you're faster than Rhyperior.
Oh.
You're faster. We ran a calc and, like, he had to have rough polish twice to be faster than 9
Well, with the screens up, he was just eating everything. Honestly, probably after that body press, I probably wasn't even. I was just thinking that if I could put it to sleep, it would be my best chance. Also,
yeah. Putting it to sleep, telling it to relax.
also was a little too far behind to bank on the first turn wake up into a brick break. You know, like you got to just basically assume
that's very true. I
that-
didn't see that.
you got to assume that's not going to happen. Because if I'd have got my veil up, then maybe I would have got my turn to kind of like even the score a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, that's very lucky.
Well, you were able to get it back up because you put him to sleep, and then I believe you blizzard, and then on the last turn you set it back up.
Could have maybe turned things around too if that hypnosis would have hit that Caparaja.
Yeah. If hypnosis hit, then it would have put you in like a great spot.
Telling you, Carlos got plot armor.
Carlos got plot armor.
He got plot armor, man.
First turn, wake up. Like, how do you?
Yeah, I know that's kind of weird. That Bisharp could do well.
Honestly, I've been playing terribly around my bishop.
Yo, that
I
thing
think-
has seen the worst of this league.
I think that, like,
Has it?
it's one of the Pokemon that when you look at my team that probably stands out to prep for. And, like, I just always send it right. I don't protect it well enough at all. Something I need to think about more in later battles, because he can be so good and such a matchup breaker, but it actually ends up going down right here, as a matter of fact, because I was thinking he might start setting up the trick room with his ghost. He waits until the end of the battle to set that up, but yeah.
I hear Cinderace might be available.
Bisharp.
Yeah, Cinderace for Bisharp. I hear that. That could be a thing. Yeah,
Bisharp is A tier.
yeah, they're both A tier.
Well, you see, unlike Cinderace, it's not Bisharp's fault that I keep sending it out to die.
Exactly. So here, you two could switch and it'd be good. There you go. Problem solved.
Hey, Cinderace, you gotta do something, right? We gotta do something. Listen, when we turn it around and he starts hitting his shots, y'all will see.
Y'all go see. He's waiting till the playoffs. He's playing.
At this rate, we're not making it.
No, you'll
At
make
this
it.
rate, we're not making it.
You know what, Arch? Just for you, I'll set up the gravity. Just don't high jump kick.
Bro, I was thinking about picking up G-Max or be like, all jokes aside.
Actually, that would help you.
Gravities, bro.
Who's your
Like,
team?
all
I
jokes
can't even
aside.
remember.
Wait, gravity?
Oh, don't get rid of Snow.
Wait a minute.
No, that's the only thing stopping me. That's the only thing he's
Gravity affects high jump
If it was
kick?
anyone else, I would have went or beat already.
Gravity affects high jump kick, though?
It affects all accuracy. You get a plus accuracy.
With high jump kick and gravity, you can't like jump off the floor.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be able to run that, but Pyro Ball still.
Yeah, Fireball would always hit.
Well, that's lovely.
And also, in this league, there are no accuracy reducing moves allowed. So, like, no Mud Slap, none of the Muddy Water, all that. So, you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Otherwise, every Pokemon I have would be running Double Team. Especially the week I faced you.
Well,
I'm like Double Team
now,
everybody.
accuracy and evasion are totally different things, because lowering somebody's accuracy, they can just switch out. Raising your evasion, then
You
it's
can't
just
change that unless you
pretty
like
much
defog
over.
or do something. Yeah. Can defog miss? I never thought about that.
I was thinking that too as you said that.
Because if so, then there's no way to get around that.
And the piece of purposes. Also, you take out the Gengar here. That's one thing too. I know he's been complaining all season about playing better on his Gengar. There's one weakness Carl does how he plays his Gengar a lot.
That's true. That's his Achilles heel right there. Is his Gengar. He doesn't play it well at all. I've noticed. His other player, like his other team though, they rock. Oh my god, his Drampa.
Yeah.
That thing's a menace. I am putting a bounty on that, by the way. First person to kill it and have it get no kills against you. No, I haven't battled him yet.
Oh, I can't wait for that one because you got been putting out the bounty. I can't wait to see what you have been.
The bounty is like, okay, his Drampa cannot get any KOs on you, and if you KO it, I will give 10 Master Balls to the person who does it. Seriously, I made a poster for it and everything. No, seriously, you kill that Drampa, then I will give you 10 Master Balls.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say, which is kind of like scary, is because he could bring in his Mimikyu with the disguise ability on your G-Max and stall out a turn 3 and set up Trick Room. Like, you can't stop that.
Yeah, no, that's very true. That is kind of scary. His Mimikyu was pretty scary too, especially early season.
Could set out Swords Dance. Like, that thing is scary.
Yeah, you can do multiple things with it.
And then that paired with, Drampa, I'm pretty sure you're not taking more than 3 turns to take down his Mimikyu. And unless, Mimikyu starts going crazy. Like, as we see here, Mimikyu goes down, he could just bring in Drampa. And then, like you said, you got that bounty on it. It could pick up a couple kills.
Drampa's scary. However, I will say you played your Toxtricity really, really well.
Really did.
Yep, every week you've played him really, really well. I will say out of all the G-Maxes, he's probably I think one of the ones with the most kills.
Yeah, he's kind of been my, besides the 6-0 against the Baltimore Blazekins, I've been in all my battles. They just kind of haven't worked out for this reason and that reason. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely been like the anchor of my team. And like, when I said at the beginning of when I started this battle, like I was kind of wanting to just like play my own game and not go like too out of left field with things. Just like, that's kind of what I mean. Like, we'll try to get a lot of kills with Toxtricity, try to bring Como to like back him up, and it was for like the Rhyperior and certain threats, but it just didn't work out because he definitely started off really well against me. But yeah. Toxtricity, he's definitely keeping my team in games, but we gotta start turning out some wins.
Yeah, you can do it though. I believe in it.
So for the last week 5 video, we got Arrtz against actually the Nashville Slashers, right? So whenever you're ready, bro.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. Actually, I want to say to Nashville Slashers, Cancel Critic, happy belated birthday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Birthday, so he had a little bit of that birthday spit going for him. I didn't actually know till after he told me. I was like, oh wow, that's happy birthday. But we went into this. Actually, I went into this battle super confident. Extremely confident. I even made a preposition with Carlos. I was like, if I lose the battle next week, I'm letting you build my team.
Oh my god!
That's how confident I went into this one.
So is he building your team this week?
Not building it, but like prep. When I build as in prep, like I'm gonna listen to his idea for sets and whatnot. Not actually build my team, but I basically let him choose a lot of the sets that's coming up in my next battle.
Can I mention one thing?
Yeah.
Your Grimmsnarl, I'm surprised you haven't run a certain set yet.
Mm.
There is one set that like sweeps almost anything, and I'm surprised you haven't run it.
I think the name of the move starts with a B. Am I correct?
B?
No.
Is it a bulk up set?
Yeah, it is a bulk up set, but it's a rest bulk up set.
See, that's funny because
Like
I told him to run. I told him to run a bulk up set against you,
That would have like wrecked me. A bulk up slash a bulk up with
Hey, look. See, the thing is, I'm not trying to reveal everything too early. No, now, and the predicament I'm in, I'm definitely gonna start. Like, I feel like at this point, I have to start pulling some things out. But I mean, for the most part, I've been playing very not one dimensional. One with Grimstone. I haven't played very one dimensional, which is at this point I'm just running screens and then allowing the rest of my team to do things. But like I said, especially as we was getting close to the playoffs, I was gonna start mixing and like matching different sets. But at this point, like I said, I might have to start pulling out things a little bit early. Especially like if we lose this one, like it's starting to become do or die for us at this point. So about team prep for Kanto, I noticed that his team really doesn't like fighting too much. Fighting hurts his Lapras, Cinnamore. It also hits the Mr. Rhyme really well, and it does okay to Mandibus, because I decided to run a choice banded Simeon, because for the most part, Simeon is going to outspeed every last one of those mons that I named. So if I throw a choice band, and I think I was running Drain Punch and Close Combat. Drain Punch is case in a situation where Drain Punch would kill and I could gain health back, I'll do that. But if something just needs to get straight up blasted, I could go for the Close Combat. So his team didn't appreciate choice band and Close Combat at all.
That's really smart.
And then, as you can see here, I ran on Tempo Avalon, so that way when the Cinderace comes in, he can't lower my attack. And then I have Iron Defense and Body Press. So if I got up Iron Defense to 2, that was basically GG. The only thing that could really kill me was the Lapras or the Rotom. Unfortunately, here he goes for a Flare Blitz, and we do get burned, which kind of sucks, because then that allowed me to not hit his Mandibuzz that hard. But it actually turned out pretty good because his Mandibuzz wasn't carrying Roost. If his Mandibuzz was carrying Roost, that would have been a lot more annoying, but he ended up carrying an Assault Vest Mandibuzz. So it clicked in my head that he can't Roost. So the Mandibuzz, next time it hits me, down anyway, because I was rocking Rocky Helmet, which was huge for us. But it kind of annoyed me because like the Ice move would have been great Haxorus, but at the same time, if I had Iron Defense up or 2 Haxorus, it isn't doing nothing to me anyway. And then we could just blow it back with the Body Press. Like I said, at this point, the only thing I could really do any sort of damage to my Avalugg was Rotom and the Lapras. But obviously I would have stayed. Obviously I would have stayed.
The +2 defense, like, it matches up really well against this team.
Yeah, man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Later on in the battle, I do kind of play very stupid with Avalugg, but it was because I was just like flustered at this point. Like I wasn't thinking straight at that point in the battle. But here, as you can see, I got a quick question. I couldn't wait to do this because he used. I'm not tripping. They use knockoff, right?
Yeah.
He used knockoff, and for some reason, I still had my Rocky helmet. Do you guys know why?
If you use knockoff, it actually. Did they use knockoff on you before this turn or no?
No. I believe it's because it died to the Rocky Helmet damage.
Rocky Helmet, yeah, no, I think you're right.
Instead of like, if it got knocked off, and then it stayed alive. Because I guess, you know, the Mon tried to hit it, and it got hurt until it fainted, instead of it being able to knock it off, you know what I mean? My question here, right? So the first time when Incineroar came in, and you went for the recover to test the damage, my question is, why didn't you do that again? Arrtz? Are you there?
It was off. I'm so sorry. I was talking and I couldn't hear me. Oh my gosh. So repeat the question. You said he Flare Blitz. I would cover take the day. Oh, I mean, what would be my reason for doing that? Once I seen how much damage I could take, I could just start setting up Iron Defense instead of giving him a chance to switch out to something else. And I mean, if I got up an Iron Defense and he did switch out to the Rotom Lapras, then I could have switched out then. But at that point, I just didn't want to waste turns. Because, I mean, I guess your point is that I could have just let him die to Rocky Helmet?
Yeah, like you could have, because you were at +4 defense at that point, so I feel like you could have just recovered in Incineroar space and like been at max HP again.
You're saying the second time he sent him out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that could have been good as well, I guess. But I mean, we got a 20-minute timer, so I'm just trying to knock out. I'm just trying to knock out things as fast as possible.
I hate this stupid 20 minutes timer.
Yeah. So yeah, the center rolling down. Mana Buzz is down at this point. I'm actually feeling really good about my chances. Cause I'm looking at it. He has his biggest wall probably down. He has his hardest hitter, if not his hardest hitters on this team is either the Haxorus or the Incineroar. So when I seen Incineroar was down and his biggest tank was down, I was feeling super confident. And then here, obviously, we have the GMAX matchup, which once again, I'm looking at is Snorlax is going to win with 1v1. I ran a thick, fat Snorlax this week, so his ice move absolutely do nothing. Now, his water moves are going to do a little something, but we were so rested. I knew at the end of the day, I was going to beat this thing 1v1 no matter what, which we end up doing. Do you guys think I could have possibly played this Snorlax differently? Because what I end up doing here is going plus. Do I go plus? I think I go +3. I do go +3. Maybe if I would have set up the sun, that could have done something as well.
I think something else you could have done is, was it Brick Break that you brought?
It was Brick Break.
You could have not G-Max the first turn and kept breaking his walls that he kept setting up, because he would keep using ice moves, which wouldn't do that much to you because you're thick fat already.
That does make sense.
And then once his G-Max was up, you could then G-Max, and then you would have had, sure, you would have been down a little bit on health, but I think overall it would have helped you do more damage in the end, which is, I think, is what you needed.
Right. Me being low on health, I like your suggestion too. Like I said, my Snorlax, especially if they have special attack at G-Max, my Snorlax most of the time is just for their G-Max. So, I mean, you're going that route would have made a lot of sense too. So, at this point, going back to the battle, I think this turn here is when I actually go +3. Yeah. Now, here me setting up the sun too. Now, I think he knows I'm thick fat at this point, so he's probably not going to be going. And plus, rain is set up. If I would have set up the sun, I mean, these Hydro Pump would have been doing so much less. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that helped me out a lot too. So I would have.
Right, instead of going to +3 with the Max Knuckles, if you would have hit the Max Flare and set up the rain, yeah, that would have been. I mean, the sun. That not only would that have been looking good for Snorlax, that would have been looking good for Cinderace, because Cinderace comes in with the Pyro Ball Life Orb, like.
Not even Voldemort Haxorus is not even wanting to think that.
No, nope. Yeah.
So like I said, looking back at the battle, there could have been other routes I could have went that could have probably ensured victory even more. But yeah, he hits me with the thing with the close combat here. I believe here I'm gonna go out to my Grimmsnarl. No, I'm gonna go with Grimmsnarl here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been maybe at this point, because like I said, I'm up 5-3 right now. Yeah, I could have played a lot more offensive instead of being safe and going for screens here. I totally forgot that Mr. Rhyme got screen cleaner, to be honest.
Me too.
Yo, so that was great prep and poor prep on my side. I totally forgot that was that thing's ability. But once again, yeah, maybe I could have started, because at this point, I'm up 5-3. Every bit of damage is helping me out even more. So maybe I could have played a little bit more aggressively and just started setting up Play Roughs, because Play Roughs is hitting everything for defense damages. If it doesn't Oko, the Haxorus is going to do tons of damage to it. Mr. Ryan is going to take damage, or Bone's going to take damage. So maybe instead of playing a little bit too defensive, I could have been a little bit more offensive. Here they go. Say that again? Bishmii, you said something?
No, but I do agree with the play rough, like you said, because if like you said, with being up 5-3, at this point you just need to hit Mons, until they faint. So if you would have just went for the play rough there on the Rotom switch, it definitely wouldn't have liked that, or even to the Mr. Rhyme, just every bit of damage would have helped you in the long run.
Right. I'm starting to realize that now. I just needed to not play so defensive and play a little bit more aggressive. I mean, at the same, he definitely wasn't. My thing is, like, in the moment, I'm thinking to myself, he's -1 on defense. So this play rough is going to blow back his Haxorus. He's not staying in. And plus, he's locked into, I was pretty sure he was locked into, close combat, right? Because my thing was, he was either going to, Dragon Dance, which if he was a Dragon Dance set, that was the thing I feared most. Because Dragon Dance, something like Dragon Dance, Outrage, or even Dragon Claw, Poison Jab, and Close Combat or Earthquake would have done a ton to my team. But when I see him just go straight up for, because it could have been a situation where he instantly went probably for a Dragon Dance even against Snorlax. Well, at the time I'm +3, so maybe he wouldn't have survived the hit. I don't know, but yeah, I just need to play much more aggressive. But going back a couple plays, y'all can see Cinderace once again doesn't disappoint. He does what he comes to do, which was miss moves constantly. The high jump kick was definitely doing over half to the Rotom, right? So this actually set us back because not only did we miss it, we lost half ourselves instead of them losing over half. So that set us back a lot. I think even more than when I missed the Pyro Balls, missing the high jump kicks obviously was going to set me back a ton more. So it hurt a lot more when those missed. And then there I went for the Will-O-Wisp instead of, because he had Roam out there. Obviously, I was praying that they went Haxorus there. I was praying he went Haxorus there, but he went out to Mr. Rhyme, which was great on his part. I'm like, here's where the bad plays start coming in. I should have, at this point, maybe there wasn't even much I could do. Maybe I could have went out to Simeon to take a hit from this, but I just totally sacked my Rotom here, which was unreasonable. I shouldn't have did that. Maybe I could have sacked something else off, but I definitely needed Rotom for the end of the bat for sure.
Yeah, because like you said, if you had sacked Simeon, Cinderace outspeeds this guy, I'm pretty sure, and then even getting damage on the other Mons. I'm pretty sure Cinderace would have outspeeded his last 3. So, and you needed Rotom for his Rotom, and I would definitely for Haxorus.
Right. His Haxorus was Choice Scarf, so I wouldn't have outsped it, but I was carrying Sucker Punch, so Sucker Punch could have did something to it late game. Maybe I had got a lot of chip on it. Like I said, so I just need to play a lot more aggressive, but at this point, the loss isn't totally on the Cinderace miss. It did play a big role in it, because like I said, Rotom gets two-shotted by it. So if I would have hit that first one, it would have put him in a huge predicament whether or not he wanted to stand on that second one. So if he would have stayed in, Ro would have died. If he would have switched, either the Mr. Rhyme or the Haxorus has taken a huge amount of damage. So it did play a role, but then after that miss, like, things just started spiraling down for me there, and I started making a lot of bad plays for myself, I believe, like letting Rotom die to the Mr. Rhyme, as well as letting Avalugg die to the Rotom. So, I did make some bad plays here, but we'll come back next week. Sure.
I want to say on this last play real quick, if you had gone Cinderace and then, high jump kick, praying that you hit, it would have been a 2v1 versus Haxorus. It would have actually been a 1v1 because you're a Life Orb. Right.
Yeah, I was at this point. I was only 3 HP left, so no matter what I did with Cinderace, he was dying.
Yeah. So then I'm not sure if Haxorus had the poison jab, but that was my biggest fear. Have gotten paralyzed, and then you might have been able to set up a reflect in his face.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear. Once my Rotom went down, I believe that was game. Once I let Rotom go down, that was game.
Right.
I absolutely needed it for his own Rotom watch. That's pretty much the end of this battle. I'm going to high jump kick here, take out the Rotom, and then I'm going to go down to Life Orb myself. And that's GG the Cancer Critic and Nashville Slashers. They played, once again, it's one of those things where RNG did happen, but it's not like they played terrible. They played really well themselves. Any thoughts, Brandon?
Yeah, definitely, like, at the end of the battle, let the plays kind of get out of hand after that miss. Because, like Bishmii was saying, if you'd have played the ending a little bit different, even if you'd have got the 1v1 versus Haxorus, maybe the reflect instead of having to set up 2 turns of screens could allowed you to get enough work done to take it down, but you never know.
Right.
But
Yeah, we'll bounce back this week. Actually, Didi, you didn't, because I just realized the stats for this battle was never put into the Discord, so these stats aren't in the update stats, are they?
They are. I put them in. I just didn't put them in the Discord. They're on the sheet.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. I'll still put it in the Discord, though, when we're done with this.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean,
But
I
yeah,
think
they're on there, and you're still you're still pretty good. You're still in the green.
yeah, I think that the
Oh,
biggest
really?
takeaway from that battle is that you could have won that battle. So don't sleep on the New York Cinderace. Even the battles that they do lose, they're always in it, and sometimes they lose to RNG. So that could just not happen in more important battles later on in the season. You never know.
I will say, even on like the battles that you do end up losing, like you don't get a bad differential. It's always by like 1 or 2 Pokemon, which is
Right.
really huge.
Which I think that's big.
And that's what has you still in the green, because I got the standings pulled up right now from the doc, and see if I can make this a little bigger. But so right now, for the standings, as far as differentials concerned too, you got the Brooklyn Barraskewda first, which I mean that's a pretty obvious one because they're 5-0. They've beaten good teams. They pretty much have declared dominance. And then you got the Dendemil Dragonites, the Cleveland Cloisters at 4-1. Dendemil Dragonites have a much better differential, and honestly, they played a pretty strong schedule too. So, in my personal power ranking, I still got those two the same. Although in 4 and 5, when you got the Baltimore Blazikens and the Pittsburgh Steelix, the differential is really close on this one, and the teams that Baltimore is beaten, as well as like I know the New York Knicks are on a big come up, but if you look at the teams that the Pittsburgh Steelers lost to, like that's why I consider more things than just differentials, because I think that like Baltimore Blazikens might be a more of a threat deep in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Then it gets really messy because you
Can
got
I say one thing about the Baltimore Blazikens though?
yeah.
The only Pokemon they have that has like consistently done well is Excadrill though. If you look at the rest of his team, all the rest of them are like up and down, but his Excadrill consistently does good.
Yeah, that can be enough a lot of weeks though.
I mean, true. Granted, that could be.
Got it being a monster.
That's true. Honestly, I feel like he's a real Excadrill's a monster.
Yeah.
Actually.
That Baltimore Blazikens team is scary, and they prep really well. They got a good coach. But then, yeah, we got 5 teams at 2 and 3, so it does get a little sticky there. As far as differential goes, you got the New England Crawdons first, New York Cinderace, Detroit Decidueye, Nashville Slashers, and then New York Knicks. But, as I was saying earlier when we were watching Bishmee's battle, you got to really consider the come-up that Bishmee's been on. I got him at number 7 in my personal power rankings. I still have the New England Crawdons at the top of this group because of the opponents that they've played and the opponents that they've beat. But, like, if you look at the Detroit Decidueye and the New York Cinderace and the Nashville Slashers. Now, the Nashville Slashers did beat the New York Cinderace, but for the most part, these guys are getting their wins against the other, like, not winning records teams. Whereas,
I noticed that too.
Yeah, the New York Knicks were able to pull off an upset, so I made note of that when I was trying to figure out which one of these teams I think are better than the others. Now then, on the bottom 2 though, you got a matchup that's going into week 6, so maybe I can get my first win of the week against the season against Bonita Boltbeaks, and then you never know, like depending on how close that battle is, we could be.
Oh wait, you guys battle this week?
Yeah, that's gonna be the big battle of the week.
I can move up in the power
I'm
rankings,
gonna
is
have
what I'm
to-
saying.
I also want to say
I'm gonna have
that
to talk to Eric.
you fought like a lot of really hard opponents, like
He has.
for half of this entire thing. The rest of this, it's not going to be quite as difficult. I feel like.
I might have to.
Yeah, my
back out.
schedule's been
Eric-
pretty hard, no doubt.
Eric had asked me to team build with him this week. I didn't know it was against you. I might sit this one out when it comes to team building. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that to you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I might sit this week out because I team built with him twice before in the past.
But what do y'all think on that 2 and 3 group? It's getting pretty sticky when it comes to like late in the season, who might make the playoffs.
Well, to be honest, to make the playoffs, you only need 5 wins, especially because 8 people are making it, 8 coaches. So 5 wins easily gets you into the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Because if it was like half and half, like 6 and 6, like 6 made it, then you would need like 6 wins to make it automatically because there's 10 games in a season.
Right.
So then you would be above half.
Right.
Well,
So because there's
technically,
8, you
also,
could get 5
if the
and make
goal's not to go negative, though, a lot of these teams, all these teams are technically negative.
That's true.
That's true. Out of the 2 and 3 teams, I think the strongest probably is the New York Cinderace.
Hey, y'all make a good case. I don't have y'all rated as high as maybe y'all could be, because like I said, y'all could have won so many of y'all's battles.
Yeah.
But the fact that you did just lose to one of these other 2 and 3 teams, I gotta put you at least under the Nashville Slashers. They just beat you.
That's 100% understandable. I'm not disputing what you're saying at all. I
Yeah.
just personally think that when we hit our stride and everything starts going our way, I think we're going to be scary.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be scary from our way. I'm on a streak, man.
Facts, right?
Yeah,
Facts.
I was gonna say, if it's not me, then I'll put you right there with me. You get what I'm
Facts
saying?
is facts, because
This team
like
is really strong.
Bishmii did win his last 2 battles, but also on that same point, a couple RNGs go the other way, and
Then he's in
maybe
trouble. Yeah, no, I see. If he even has 1 week go bad, that could ruin everything. I get what you're saying.
maybe a couple RNGs go the other way throughout the season, and maybe the New York Cinderaces could have been 4-1 or 3-2. You never know.
5-0.
All right, with that, do you guys want to get into the week 6 matchups?
Yeah, definitely. And so Shade already left his picks, of course, and we'll go over those again. But just to start it right off at the top, we got the New York Cinderace and the Cleveland Cloister. And I got to go with the New York Cinderace on this one, because I think there's too many of their battles are so close. But y'all are kind of underdogs this week. What do you think, Arrtz?
Well, as I said, I let Carlos take a lot of my sets, so hopefully some of his plot armor rubbed off on me. So I think I'm good this week. I think I'm good. I think finally we're gonna get some luck on our side. So I'm gonna go with myself as well, the New York Cinderace. I will say though, her team is really, really scary. She has a lot of options she could bring, but I think we should be fine. Hopefully we're fine.
What about the rest of you guys?
Yeah, here I'm definitely gonna go into the Cleveland Cloisters. Nothing against Arrtz. It's just like I seen what that team could do. I'm no Jones, but she did say that against Goose, she did not expect the team that he would bring. I'm pretty sure he brought the Trick Room team, and that threw her off. But like, I feel like you definitely gotta come out of your box with something against her, because that team, having experienced myself. Man, Dragon Ball, Obstagoon, Togu Kids, Copper Option.
You must have not seen the scrims. Me and Carlos did.
Well, I can't. I have a saying, happy wife, happy life, so I have to
Oh,
go
yeah,
with Cleveland
no doubt.
Cloisters. I'm sorry. If I were to say the other way around, then I won't hear the end of it.
You're not eating
Hey.
dinner tonight.
I will say though, like in the previous matchups, I there was only one matchup I said she probably wouldn't win, like out of all these weeks, and I kept warning her, and it was against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I kept telling her, like, and she got cocky too. I was like, she's like, I'm gonna keep winning. I'm like, no, you're not. Somebody's gonna knock you down.
Well, Shade also picked the Cleveland Cloisters on that one, so I mean, they are the favorite going into the matchup. I just,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
the New York Cinderace is such a like wild card team. They can get you a win any week.
Yeah.
It's all about RNG, pretty much.
Yeah, it's an RNG team.
I'm liking this underdog field. I'm liking this.
So then on the next one, we got the Nashville Slashers and the Baltimore Blaziken. Now, Shade picked the Nashville Slashers on this one, but me, I really got a lot of respect for the Baltimore Blaziken, and that's where I was going on this. What do y'all think?
I think the Baltimore Blaziken's reason being is Kanto Critic. The team he feared most in this entire league was the Baltimore Blazikens. And if you do look at their matchup, it can get a little tricky, I think. Especially like with Excadrill, with what else? You have Gallade.
Right.
Yeah, there are a lot of Pokemon on this team that really kind of mess up his team.
Yeah, and like just to add on that, I don't think Kanto really has a surefire way to stop that Excadrill and the sand. Other than Lapras changing the weather.
Yeah, Lapras is the only thing.
Yeah, but then Lapras kind of gets with the Iron Head or two, like
Even Rock Slide.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the
hurts
Blazikens.
worse.
I'm gonna go with the Blazikens.
nothing against Kanto though. People did doubt him out against Arrtz, and he managed to pull it out. So we'll have
No
to see
doubt.
what happens.
All right, so then y'all already calling this the matchup of the week. We got the bottom of the brackets. We got the Atlanta Sobble, my team, versus the Bonita Boltbeak. And it may not have worked out for me yet as far as the picks go, but I've been taking myself every week still. I'm going to try my best to win the game. Of course, every time. So what do y'all think about this matchup?
I say you all the way. Because as long as you can take out that Dracovish, yeah, you're good. I can see it.
And I mean, technically, I think my opponent already knows this because it's one of the most commonly known things in ladder matches. But I have the most common ladder answer to Dracovish on my team. So
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Atlanta this week.
I am too. As long as you bring Water Absorb this week.
well, I'm not going against a rain team this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Slashers. I mean, not Slashers. Sobble.
Yeah, I'll also go with the Atlanta Sobble, like you said, because we have the number one Dracovish shopper with Seismitoad, and then other than that, Seismitoad was pretty good in the matchup. Outside of that, and then we just look at your defense matchup.
I just realized earlier, DD Spark said the top of the Atlanta Sobble schedule was rough. It can't get much worse. He still has to face the Dragon Knights, the Cloisters, and the Crawdads. It's going to get a lot worse.
Well, honestly, that's not that much worse than the Blazikens, the Barraskewda. I've already had to face some pretty tough teams.
You're right. You did. Your schedule's rough, bro.
I had to play you week 1. It's been pretty rough. It's rough all the way through. But, hey, we going to stick to it and try to win every game and we land where we land.
But yeah, just like I said, the Seismitoad looks really good, matching up against a lot of his monsters with the Salazzle and Morpeko. I want to say that his Rillaboom might be a little bit scary. So as long as you can play around that, it should be fun.
All right, well then.
So I think we all picked you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so then the next matchup, we got the Detroit Decidueye and the Dendemil Dragonite. And both me and Shade are taking Dendemil on this one, but they are kind of a favorite at 4-1. What do y'all think on this?
I'm obviously going to go with me.
I'm
But
actually pulling up the teams right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking.
I will say I have a really hard matchup this week with him. My matchup's
I'm looking
really
at that
bad.
too, and yeah, there's one Pokemon I'm looking at is like I think could be.
There are 2 Pokemon I'm looking at that he has that completely like destroy my team.
Oh, and yeah, I see that now. That Rotom Heat, right?
Yeah, Rotom Heat and Aegislash. Both those Pokemon tend to,
That one is correct.
both those Pokemon really hurt me.
If he plays them right, I'm gonna go. If he plays those right, I could see them winning that. The
Detroit.
Decidueye, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Detroit Decidueye. Only because they beat me before.
Well, that's not fair because I don't get to battle you.
Hey man, I'll see you in the playoffs.
By the way, I do want to say, what did Elemental use to make that logo of yours? That logo is beautiful.
She actually has what's it called? She actually has Photoshop, and she used that.
She did
she's in. She used to go into graphic design, but then she changed majors.
Okay, that's really good, man.
So
You see yourself bringing a Selgor.
I'm not gonna reveal any of my secrets, but we'll see.
Okay.
So, in the next one, we got the New England Crawdaunt and the Pittsburgh Steelix. Honestly, this is a pretty close matchup for me. Me and Shade both took the New England Crawdaunt on this one. But, man, I could really see this one going either way, for sure.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals, too.
I'm gonna go with the Steelix because I feel like he doesn't have a way to stop that G-Max Charizard unless Galvantula comes in on it, or if he brings Savali Rock.
What about his Cardinal?
Savali Rock would
Oh
really work.
yeah. He did say like Aquajet Crawdaunt.
Don't ruin it.
Wait, but like if the sun is up, that'll definitely.
Just it's fine. It's fine. Honestly, this one I'm torn. Like I literally feel like this is the closest match I think this week. This one and
no
uh,
doubt.
the Sable versus Bonita Boltwix. I think these are the 2 matches that are going to be really close. So I don't know. I'm going to have to go, I guess, with the New England Crawdauts just because I really like what he's done. I really like his play style. I don't know what it is. Whenever I watch his videos,
I love his play style.
like the way he plays, I don't know what it is, but I just love it.
It's kind of unorthodox. Him and Bishmii both have very unorthodox play style.
I agree, and I like it.
Yeah, and then last but not least, we got the Brooklyn Barracuda on 5-0 versus the up and coming New York Nicket. And
I never choose against
quick
Paul
armor.
Armor.
I never choose against Blood Armor.
well, I don't know,
I
Bishmii.
will say that I choose the New York Nickets because I predict a big comeback from them. They're going to upset everybody. I have a feeling I don't think they're going to lose a match like now. If I had to vote like for future matches too, I'd put the New York Nickets winning every single match.
I told you I was coming. I told you. I was warning y'all.
Shade also picked the New York Nickets to win this one.
We got a lot of people picking me. I say
Don't
I
get
pick
nervous.
myself only because like I've known Carlos for so long, and I feel like I could really put the moves on him in this match. Yeah, we do go back to middle school and we team prep every week.
That's a big factor, you know, like that was possibly a big deciding factor whenever Shade and Kanto played against each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because like they've known each other for so long, so it's like you kind of know what the other like thinks.
I'm gonna have to go with you on that one then. What you got, Arrtz? Have you been team prepping with either of these guys this week?
Wait for their battle?
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Did we?
Why not? Why not prep with both of
This
them?
battle? Nah, I don't want to, because then I feel like I don't know. When it's two friends battling people I stay out of it. Just like I don't think I'm going to team build with Eric this week though. Because I
Right.
team build with both of you. I don't want to help one of them. Like, yeah,
Right.
stay out of it.
Well, who you think's gonna win?
Armor. I'm going with Carlos.
All right.
Bet.
Well, also, I got to get going because work's actually coming up, so I got to get going.
Well, that pretty much does wrap it up. We're going to go ahead and drop some outros, but be on the lookout for this video. And also, every Friday, I'll be doing Twitch streams. You know, almost always Pokemon battles. Actually, Amoonguss, same as on YouTube. Didi, before you go, you want to let guys know what you're working on with the channel?
Oh, that's not even done yet. I don't even really have a name because I'm going to change the name up.
Well,
So it's
we will have
I don't
videos
think I'm going to
coming
post
soon.
any battles from this league. I'll give you the videos so you can use them in like your updates and stuff, like this.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to post. I'm going to do season 2 and I'm going to start it, especially with all like the new release. I think it's going to be huge then.
Well, the
Yeah, 'cause all the new Pokemon
commissioner
coming
channel
out. I'm
coming
going to need
soon.
help changing the tier. Like the tier list is going to be huge.
For sure.
All right, but thank you guys for joining, and hope you guys like this.
Bye. Yeah. I'm gonna drop my outro real quick. Of course, it's Arrtz. Obviously, I do Pokemon streams. I do Smash here and there when I'm in the mood. I want to start doing Mario Kart if I could get the game to work with my. For some reason, I was having issues and I was trying to play that. And whenever I move, sometimes I'll just drop a random game that I feel like playing. Yeah, thank you guys for all the support you guys been showing to myself, actually Amoonguss and Bishmii. You guys are amazing. And I'll catch up when I catch up.
And yeah, just Bishmii giving my outro. Over on my channel, I do post the BSL weeks, and I'm also in another draft league along with DarkSpark, and as many people may know, Shiny Shuriken, and we've been doing, our weekly analysis over there. Looking forward to put up much more content like Pokemon Showdown. So you guys head over there and check out the content. If you like it, make sure to subscribe. And I'm glad to come back for a second time on the BSL league analysis. So thanks, Ed.
Yeah, and don't forget, we also, at the beginning of the video, we had Shade of Defeat, coach of the New England Crawdont, with us, and he's also on YouTube at Shade of Defeat, so check him out as well. And we're going to sign off, so until we see y'all again, be on the lookout for the content, and we appreciate you guys. See you later.